episode of Gal and Kitten Knittin.
Yes.
It is our inaugural episode, right in time for the new year, so we're excited to be here with all of you. Let's talk a little bit about our introductions here. So
Sure.
My name is Chelsea. I also go by Gallialvia. That is my username for social media. So Instagram, Twitter, as well as Ravelry. You can find me there. It's Gallialvia. I will put the spelling down here below so you can catch that. It comes from a long history. I play an MMORPG called World of Warcraft for those who are familiar with those. And that is my call sign, name, whatever you want to call it. But it has a long history. So that is where the gal comes from in Gal and Kitten Knittin.
Yes.
And let me introduce you to my co-host.
Hi, I'm Heather, aka Kitten. That comes from my username on all social media, which is SpaceKitten3000. And SpaceKitten3000 is also my username on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Ravelry. But you can call me Kitten, Space Kitten, Heather. I will answer for any of those.
Excellent. So how long have you been knitting?
Well, technically I learned how to knit in 2009. But I don't think I was a very serious knitter. I did take a class and at a local yarn shop. And I did knit, but I wasn't very I didn't explore very much. I was just like, scarves, that's what I'm gonna do, is just scarves and things like that. And then I quit for several years, and then got into it seriously this year again. Yeah.
How much fun.
How about you?
I've been knitting since about this time last year, about January of last year, or January of this year. I asked my mother-in-law to teach me.
Yeah.
And just have taken off. I just found my little creative niche, which I never have really had.
And I think that has helped me stay inspired to knit, that you being my best friend is also interested in doing that. It's not only something that we can do together, but it also just helps inspire creativity and buying.
Oh gosh. We have a buying problem, everybody.
Not that we needed more things to do or buy or talk about, but I think that really helps me stay motivated to do this, because it is something I really want to do, and it's always helpful to have your friend to do it with.
Yeah, absolutely. So why are we podcasting? And I'm sorry, I keep looking at my notes because I want to make sure I don't skip over anything. So we decided to podcast because with us being, I don't want to say we're beginners, because I feel like we do more complicated patterns than just beginning patterns. I
think we're beginner as far as the time that we've been knitting, but I think you and I are both pretty adventurous in the things that we will try.
Yes.
So we definitely are not intimidated by doing patterns that are above our skill level.
Correct.
So, yeah.
So really the reason why we want to podcast and to share our experiences is because we are in a learning process.
Yes.
We obviously do not have years of experience behind us. So we want to sit down and be able to share our experiences, our failures, our mistakes with all of you, so you can maybe learn from us and so that we can learn from you.
Absolutely.
So if any of you have any thoughts, any pointers as we go through some of our projects, things that you have come across, problems that we are facing that we need help with, please feel free to comment below, comment on social media. Let us know what your thoughts are, because
absolutely,
we want
all
to learn.
Suggestions, input, encouragement, advice, anything is highly encouraged, because we want to be part of this community, and we would love to open that line of communication with everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk really quick. How did you learn to knit?
I my first attempt at learning to knit was literally buying the book Knitting for Dummies, the yellow books that they have for everything. I bought Knitting for Dummies on eBay, and could not get, I could cast on, I got that, but could not even knit one stitch from that book.
Wow.
So I took a class at a local yarn store that is now, it's no longer there, but they were doing free beginner classes, but you just had to buy your yarn, your needles from their store. So that's what I did, and we did a very basic garter stitch, or I'm sorry, stockinette stitch scarf, one color, and that's how I learned, and that's what I needed.
Yeah.
The lady that was doing the course came behind me and moved my hands for me
to get you into that motion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then once I did that, I was able to, I bought a little, at Borders, when Borders was still open, a little pocket dictionary of knitting abbreviations. So when I was doing patterns, I would just look in there and see what the abbreviation was, and it would explain how to do it. And then when I got more familiar with YouTube, I just started using YouTube for all of that. And yeah, that's how I learned. How about you?
YouTube tutorials are amazing.
They are, yes. I used one last night.
Yeah. So, you know, again, I talked to my mother-in-law. She's been knitting since she was a child. You know, my mother had tried to teach me whenever I was very young, and we started with an Afghan. And I feel like, and I don't even remember what stitch it was that we did that, but I feel like just the enormity of that at such a young age, because I was probably about 10, 11 years old whenever I tried to learn to knit.
Knitting a scarf is pretty standard because it's not overwhelming, and then you feel like you've accomplished something when you're done. So
my first finished project was a scarf, which I started with my mother-in-law, and I caught that bug. I caught that bug, and it has just been sailing ever since. Now I know that you and I have a very different way of learning. Yeah. As we go through this process, so I don't know, and I'm obviously first podcast, not at all being supported by, but I don't know if you guys are familiar with craftsy.com, but I do very well with their classes. It is a great way for me personally to learn, because I love having access to those tutorials whenever I need them. Now, that's not to say that I don't supplement with YouTube videos, because I do supplement with YouTube videos, particularly in certain projects where I have questions. But for me, video learning is a very good way for me to reference things as I go. Yeah. And you know, I always thought that I was right until I was listening to you, I always thought that I was a hands-on learner. But learning from YouTube is not hands-on. That's just watching a video. So maybe that is more, that helps me more than I think it does. I haven't taken a Craftsy class. I do have a couple of Craftsy classes that I have purchased, and I plan on using them, but it's just something I kind of thought about when you were talking, is that maybe I am a little bit more visual, because I turn to YouTube for so many things when I don't understand a pattern. But it sounds like we both kind of started in the same place, having somebody show us the beginning. Yes. And then from there, because we've got the basics, we've been able to take off with the video and understand what we're doing. So exactly, yeah. That's excellent. So let's get in real quick. That's the hows and the whys and the who we ares. Yes. But let's get into what we're working on. Or actually, let's talk about, do you want to do whips or finished objects first? Did we decide? Let's do whips. Do whips? Yeah. Okay. We're going to do whips. So we're going to do whips first. Yes. I'm going to let Kitten go first. Okay. I only have 2 right now. One of them is the, it's called the 7 and Zeros Shawlette by Caitlin French. And you will probably hear Caitlin French's name a lot, because I think I've done 3 or 4 of her patterns. So I really like her patterns. But this is just a little shawlette that I'm actually doing in a stripe. I do 2 rows of black and then 1
of the alternate color, and then 2 rows, and then 1. So it's going to be black, gray, and this kind of doe fawn.
Get it a little closer.
Color here.
Yeah, that's picking up the light a little.
Okay. So yeah, and it's a really easy pattern. It's all knit purl, knit front to back. That's it. I just wanted something easy while I was waiting for yarn for a different project to come in, and so I just had this yarn and found something to do with it. And I just wanted something that I could just like throw around my neck real quick as I was walking out the door, regardless of what coat I had on or whatever. And yeah, you can pretty much make it any color you want. You can make it as wide as you want. It just gives you a repeat of 9 rows. And you just keep going until it's the length that you want it. And then you bind off, and that's it. I don't even know, honestly, if I'm going to block it or not, because it's just going to be wrapped around me. So I don't even know if I'll block it. We'll see. So yeah, that's my first one. Again, it's the 7 and 0 Shelob by Ffrench. Do you want to take turns, or do you want me to keep going?
Go, keep going.
Okay. And then my next one is another shawl that's just going to be a scarf. And I don't have very much to show of it, but I can show you the pattern picture. It is the Wonder Woman shawl by Carissa Browning. And it's a pretty popular shawl pattern. It's free on Ravelry, so it's been around. But I'll show you the picture here on the pattern. So yeah, it's Wonder Woman. And there's 2 sizes, the Wee and the Wondrous. And
I don't think I picked up on that when I looked at it.
But I'm actually making mine in this KnitPicks fingering stroll in Hollyberry. So it's just a deep red. And then the W portion, my contrast color, is the KnitPicks stroll fingering in Cobblestone Heather, so a deep gray. And these are both 75% merino and 25% nylon. Yellow's not my favorite color, so I didn't want to do yellow. But I've only got this much. It doesn't look like anything. But I started it last night, and I bought the yarn with the intention, I bought enough yarn with the intention to do the Wondrous, the largest size. And then when I was looking at the pictures and everything, I was like, well, maybe I'll do the Wee one. That that should be good enough. And so I got this far, and then decided maybe I do want to do the Wondrous.
Yeah.
And I think that's what
I
I
mean
wanted.
the Wee?
No, I was gonna do the Wee,
and then you're doing the Wondrous.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was doing the smaller one. Even though I had bought enough yarn to do the bigger one, I kind of changed my mind and was just going to do the smaller one. And I got this far, which doesn't look like much, but it took me a couple hours to do this. So, it's fingering, so it goes slow. But I think I'm going to frog it and start and do the bigger one.
The nice thing about yarn is that you can always frog it and start over. I mean,
I just hate to lose all this stuff that I did, but it doesn't look like much, but it was a lot of time. But I think I'd be happier with the bigger version of it. And that's the picture I showed you this is the bigger version.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'm going to do, because, it's just a few more stitches, and, oh well, I lost a couple hours of time, but that's okay if I'm happier in the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I've got are those 2 right now.
So we'll talk about that at some other point. So let me talk real quick about my whips.
Mm-hmm.
So there is another blogcast called Strings and More.
Yes.
That we both like to follow. Mm-hmm. And they are going to start a KAL, a knit along that is like what did they call it? A free your needle.
I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, but it's like a free your needle thing. And so I actually have 3 different sweaters going on right now, you guys, that I've had going on for a little while. And I feel it's time to free my needles before I start any other projects. So let's talk real quick, because this is my big baby. I started a different knit along back in, I think it was September. I like that ringtone. So we started this knit along back in, I believe it was September, for the Tealeaf sweater, KAL with Craftsy. The pattern is by Bristol Ivy, who I feel is a beautiful designer. But I, for various reasons, wasn't able to keep to the 6-week timeline. And then I decided
I think that was the consensus, is that wasn't a lot of time to do that project.
It was a very brisk and, yeah, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it was a very brisk project. So it did not happen. Here's where we are right now.
You've made so much progress, though.
I've gotten the left sleeve done in the last day, I think was what I got this done in. So I'm finally really getting going, and I'm really excited to get this done. So I've got one more sleeve to go, and then the necklace, and then we'll be done with this one.
You can probably wear it while it's still cold.
I'm hoping so. It's
you won't
freezing
have to,
outside.
It is.
Today.
It's actually nice to be talking about knitting right now. Because
it really is.
It's so cold outside.
So okay, we live in Oklahoma. It is 20 degrees outside. Wind chill is probably around 5 degrees.
Yes.
This is Fahrenheit that we're talking. It's not typically this cold though. No. You guys, it's not.
Then tomorrow it's supposed to, or maybe even tonight, it's supposed to, with the wind chill, get down into the negatives.
Yeah, negative 15 degrees.
Yeah, so it's really...
So I'm really excited to be able to wear my knitting.
Yes.
Because I don't get a lot of opportunities
me and my husband went out yesterday to do errands, and I was like, oh, I can wear my mitts and I can wear my hat, and I was wishing I had finished that shawlette because I wanted to put that on.
So those of you who follow her on Instagram, you got to see a really cute picture of her.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So that was my first project. My second project is a no purl sweater, which Kitten has also finished this.
Yes. Hers is prettier though. Mine's just like bland gray, which I like. So gray, but hers is so pretty.
Well, I just had this and decided that this was how I was going to use this yarn. So here is, I don't know if you can see these colors.
They're so pretty.
But here is the front. I am working on the back right now. And
the back kind of has a V, and then it has like a knitted strap that kind of holds it onto your shoulders. It's a bit off the shoulder, but that strap across the V keeps it up.
So it is the No Purl Sweater by Michelle Greenburg. And my final project, which I'm not going to show to you because I have to get underneath a different sweater, is the Long Weekend Knit Cardigan by Caddy Melville Ledbetter. It is a craftsy class. It is one of the beginner knit sweater classes. So I've got 3 different sweaters going on right now.
That's pretty impressive.
Well, I need to get one of them done. So those are my whips right now, and I am trying to free my needles. So those...
So do you have anything you finished?
Yes, I did. So as I said, I did a lot of knitting for Christmas gifts.
She did so much knitting. I'm a selfish knitter. I didn't knit anything for anybody, but she did so many.
I decided over Thanksgiving weekend, American holidays, American Thanksgiving, I should say. And I keep saying this because my husband is from Canada, so that's why I keep reiterating the difference here. And their Thanksgiving is in October. Yes. Ours is in November. So I decided over Thanksgiving weekend that I was going to knit for all of my family in Canada plus my parents. So I ended up knitting, I think, and my brother, yes. And so I ended up knitting 10 projects for people other than, 11 projects for people other than myself.
I mean, she was doing like a hat every day, it seemed.
Yeah, I did.
It was crazy.
I did, I think it was 9 hats, a shrug, and a cowl, like a really long cowl, the Purl Soho classic cowl for my mother. Gorgeous pattern, by the way, you guys. But I did all of that for my family. I also, you guys, I don't know if you can see this back here, but I finished this yesterday. I got this gorgeous merino top from Mama Knows Luxury for Christmas, and it is in the, I'm not going to remember the name of it. It is in the Chamberlain blanket pattern by DeBrosse, New York City. And I actually kind of did a little bit of tweaking to the pattern, not intentionally initially, but I ended up doing some tweaking to the pattern. But you guys, I screwed up. So if you look at the picture that I posted on Instagram, it kind of does this thing here, right?
I didn't notice it.
I thought it was just because I hadn't pulled it out all the way.
I think that's what most people would assume.
Well, I realized today, whenever I was like moving the blanket around, I dropped a stitch on right next to the selvage edge. And so I think what I'm just going to have to do... And kind of at the beginning. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just felt it in and be done with it.
Nobody would notice.
It's just going to be here in my craft room for me. So
But it's so soft, and it's... I don't know if you can tell, but it's like the most beautiful peacock jewel-toned...
green,
teal green, beautiful color.
It is so gorgeous. Pretty. I love it, you guys. But my mother-in-law got that for me. Again, it's from Mama Knows Luxury, out of Canada. But the pattern is by DeBrosse, New York City. So wonderful thing. Those are really my FOs.
And it seemed like she knit this in like 30 minutes.
It was probably 2 hours.
But I was like, I texted her, or maybe I posted it on Instagram, but I was like, holy crap, you're already done. It seems like you just started it. But so, yeah, it was really quick.
And I started it with needles because I got the really big needles as part of the set. And I ended up switching over to hand knitting because it was just so much more easy to hand knit. Did those needles have a
glittery...
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Like the connecting wire looked like it was silver glitter, and I was like, that's pretty.
Yeah, so the connecting, the cable in between the two needles had silver like running through it, like silver glitter running through it. It was so pretty, but unfortunately it didn't work well for me. Oh well. So talk to me about your finished objects.
I have just a couple, or 3, I guess. Like I said, I did not knit for people for Christmas because I'm a selfish knitter. And the first thing I did, I was really into mitts, and I was scared to death to do double pointed needles because the only time I'd ever done double pointed needles was to finish up hats, which I love knitting hats. But you only have to use double pointed needles for a very small amount of time with hats. There's not a lot of stitches on there. It's really easy. But I used double pointed needles to do mitts, and it wasn't bad. No. It wasn't that big of a deal. I was like, why was I even like nervous about this? But anyway, I did these cute little mitts. I call them my confetti cake mitts because that's what the yarn looks like to me, is like the sprinkle cake. But the actual pattern name, I believe, is Sara Basic Mitts, or it might be just Basic Mitts, and then the person that did it was Sara. I'm not really sure, but it's I believe it's a free pattern on Ravelry. But yeah, it was really good. This is just DK weight yarn, which was the first time I knitted with DK, and it's by the company Tricked Out You, EWE. But I don't know. I don't remember what it was called because I didn't keep the tag. So anyway, but I knitted those and I was really happy with them, and I was happy that double pointed needles weren't as big of a deal as I thought they were. So I'm not intimidated anymore.
Yay!
And then on to my second pair of mitts, which were not as easy, but they weren't hard except for the thumb holes. I must have fat thumbs because the thumbs are a bit too tight, but I blocked them and they fit better. But these are the Toolbox mitts by Debbie Stone and Marcy Vandell. And you actually use 6 different colors of fingering weight yarn. So I got Madeline Tosh Unicorn Tails.
You guys, this yarn is gorgeous.
And it's really pretty. It was fun to pick out all the colors and everything. But there's 6 different colors. And yeah, they were really fun to knit.
The pattern is gorgeous.
I wish there was a little more contrast between the top colors. I like how all of these contrast, and that's kind of the point, because of these little sections right here. you want to be able to see both yarns. And I wish there was just a bit more contrast in these upper colors, but I do still like all of the colors, because I originally was going to do them as a fade, but then after I was reading the pattern, they're like, you really want contrasting colors. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just contrast these as much as I can by the order I put them in. And I still really like the way that they turned out. But these thumb holes were almost the death of me. Not only were they just really tight, it was, I think there was only 22 stitches on 4, or no, I used 3 double pointed needles, so it wasn't as bad.
But it's still...
But my shoulders were like this, and I was like this, and my hands were sweating. I kept having to like wipe the sweat off my hands and everything, so...
It was intense, you guys.
It was, and it's the last thing you do, so you just want to like push through it. You just want to get it done, because then you can block them and it'll be fine. But yeah, it was a really, really well-written pattern. It was fun just to play with the colors and stuff.
Who did you say that was by?
They're the Toolbox Mitts by Debbie Stone and Marcy Vandell.
They're gorgeous.
And I believe it was like $5 on Ravelry or something like that. So, and then my last FO is the...
Guys, she's been knitting up a storm.
The Shelob sweater by Caitlin French. I told you you'd hear that name again. And this was knitted using Cascade. No, not Cascade. I can't remember what brand it is. But it's 100% merino, and it's in the color mauve. It's probably going to pick up as really brown, but it's actually more of a mauve.
And you can actually see a picture of this on her Instagram.
Yeah, I did a front and back. It's so pretty. It's just this lacy, it's worsted weight. So it was really easy. I think it took 400 yards, so I just bought 2 skeins of it. And it's just kind of a double seed stitch border, and then this lacy pattern, and it's so pretty. It's not, you should look at the picture on Instagram, because you can see the shape of it much better.
Yeah.
But I was worried when I did this, because I knitted it you basically knit a very long rectangle, and a skinny long rectangle, and I knitted it to the length that it stated for unblocked. I actually had to do more repeats than it said, just because of my gauge, and I don't really do gauge very well. So
we'll save that for another video.
So I just did more repeats of the pattern until I got to the length it said. But then when I blocked it, it was, I want to say, 10 inches longer than it was supposed to be.
Considerably longer.
Yes. And so I was a bit worried. I was like, oh gosh, this is going to be, I wet blocked it. I was like, I don't know how this is going to turn out, because it was very hard for me to visualize how you seamed it up, because it's just a long rectangle. And my width was good. It was just the length. But I stitched it up once it was dry, and I don't know if this is the way it's supposed to fit, but it's the way I was hoping it would fit. So it worked out perfectly, and I can't wait to wear it in the spring and summer with just a pretty tank top camisole. So yeah. So those are my finished objects.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with them.
So let's talk about cute projects.
Yeah.
And what we're wanting to do here.
Sure.
Oh. We skipped over our goals. We can do that next.
Oh, okay.
So our cute projects. What is it that you're wanting to do next?
I have a couple of things. One of them I'm actually going to start on tonight. It's called the Sockhead hat. And it's a free pattern on Ravelry. Again, it's a pretty popular one. I've discovered that I really like wearing hats. I like to curl my hair and then put a hat on.
Yeah.
So I got some really pretty yarn. It's called the Sockhead hat because you use sock yarn for it.
Okay.
And it's nothing special. It's just like miles of stockinette stitch. So it's a good like TV. It's like a good like TV watching, you know, easy knit. But I got this really pretty like, I don't know, it's like this tonal yarn that fades, and it's really pretty, so I think it'll be really nice for this hat.
Yeah.
And then I'm also, oh, and that is by Kelly McClure. And then I'm going to do, it's called the Knit Night Shawl. And I saw this on the Yonder Woman podcast. And it's kind of her go-to, like, gift knit. Mm-hmm. And it's called the Knit Night Shawl because it's, like, again, kind of just a thoughtless.
A knit in the night.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or when you're just hanging out with your friends for knit night, you just, you know. But you can choose, it's kind of customizable because you can choose like a picot border or an eyelet border or just a plain border. And you can make it as long as you want. So it's pretty customizable. And again, it just really showcases, it's something to showcase some really nice hand-dyed yarn. Oh. So that's what I'm going to do because I'm really into just wrapping stuff around my neck apparently.
Yeah.
And then I want to do socks.
Yeah.
I don't have a particular pattern, but I have my yarn picked out. And I've said for a long time, once I knit a pair of socks, I'll feel like a real knitter.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll happen.
Yeah.
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 What about you?
So I actually acquired a couple of Craftsy classes for Christmas because, again, I love Craftsy. And one of them is a beginning sock class. Mm-hmm. Because, same as you, I felt like I wasn't a true knitter until we knit some socks. So,
and I really just want to feel them on my feet. Like, how different they feel than, like, your store-bought socks. I really just want to see how they feel when you're wearing them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just something that you know you've made. Yeah. And it's on your feet, and you're so comfortable. And... oh, looking forward to that feeling.
Yes.
So yes, we actually talked about this not too long ago. I had intended to do some socks for Christmas for myself. And I even have Christmas yarn because I was going to do,
there was a knit-along.
There was a knit-along.
That you had to either have Christmas yarn or the pattern had to be Christmassy.
Mm-hmm. And so I went ahead and I bought the yarn, and then we talked, and I decided to postpone my sock making.
We were going to maybe try to do this. Learn to knit socks together. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that is the goal. But we're going to do socks. And then my 2018 goal is to learn how to knit brioche.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's some really pretty brioche out there, you guys. And I know you guys are if you're watching this podcast, you're already aware of that. Brioche is gorgeous. So I really would like to learn to knit brioche. And
it is so pretty. And there's so many different things you can do with it.
Yeah. So let's talk real quick about, because I have a brioche class. We skipped over our goals for this year and for just knitting in general. Because again, we feel like we're kind of new knitters learning. We're little babies learning. So we want to learn how to knit socks.
Yes.
We want to learn how to knit brioche.
We also want to do Fair Isle, too.
Fair Isle. Yes. So Fair Isle is on the list of things to do. So beautiful color working is in our future. I really want to get familiar with cables.
Yes.
I have a cabling class, a Celtic, another sweater, you guys.
She's going to be all set for next winter.
I'm so going to be set
My neck is going to be warm with all my shawls and
I'm just going to be snuggly all around.
And she's going to be snuggly in her sweaters.
We're crazy. Yeah. And then the spring, so we're hoping to have a guest on at some point here in the future. Judith Price from Judith Price Artworks. Because she is into spinning and dyeing.
Yes.
And I am interested in spinning, and she has a spare spinning wheel. And
how about that?
How about them apples? So we're planning on doing that, and then Kitten is not so interested in the spinning aspect, but she is interested in the dyeing aspect.
Yeah, I think that would be really fun.
Yeah, and so I think whenever spring comes and it gets a bit warmer, we have places to hang things outside, not necessarily inside. We're going to try our hand at some dyeing.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, so, get to be more familiar with some of the rudimentary aspects. Rudimentary?
Yeah.
Aspects of knitting. So... yeah. Looking forward to those things this year. So let's talk real quick. Acquisition.
Oh, my
You
favorite.
guys, Christmas happened.
Yes, and my birthday. My birthday is Christmas Eve,
yes.
so I have double. So,
Yay.
well, I'll start first because I kind of already mentioned it with the Fair Isle knitting. Gal actually gave me my birthday / Christmas present early. It was kind of around Thanksgiving, but there was a reason for that because we were going to the yarn store together, and she bought me I had been talking about Fair Isle knitting for a long time.
A long time, you
that
guys.
I really wanted to learn how. And so she bought me the Craftsy class for Fair Isle knitting, and then bought me all the yarn I needed for the pattern when we went to the yarn store.
You gotta have the yarn to do the knitting.
So that was such an awesome gift. I'm so excited. The pattern is a hat, and I think it takes 5 colors. And you bought the class too, right?
Yes.
So so that was my first acquisition for the Christmas / birthday season, and I'm very, very excited. It was a very sweet gift. It's one of the coolest gifts I've gotten, so I was really happy about that.
That thing's, you guys, she's got some really awesome gifts, so I
have a lot of really nice people in my life that give me nice things, but nobody's ever given me a class before, so that was fun. So do you want me to keep going?
Keep going.
Okay. The next thing I got is from my parents, from my mom and dad, and this was for Christmas. They got me this cutest little project bag. It's so cute. It's got unicorns and owls and all kinds of little critters.
And fairies.
Yes, and it has fairies. There's a fairy riding a bunny, which is adorable. And then the bottom is actually like the same fabric but just a different print, and it's like underground. So it has I guess these are maybe little badgers and little bunnies all going underground. So yeah, and this is from I think it's Mad Hatter on Etsy. It's something different on here though, so maybe she changed her name because on the tag it says Zippity Sew Day. But then the business card that came with it was Mad Hatter.
Oh.
So I don't know. But anyway, this is super cute. So that was from my mom and dad. And then my husband, for my birthday, this is so cute. He went into a local yarn store and told the lady working there that his wife is really into knitting and, really wants to get good at it, and what is a cool gift for a knitter. And so he got me a Swift and a ball winder, which, if you're watching this podcast, you know how awesome that is.
It's important.
And I actually really, really wanted those, but I hadn't told him. Yeah. I just think it's so sweet that he went into a yarn store and
took the initiative.
Yeah, and asked. And so I didn't bring it, obviously, because you guys know what that looks like, and you know how that's awesome. So I had to try it out, of course, with some new yarn, which I've already caked it, so you're not going to be able to see how beautiful it is when it's in the skein, but I just had to try my Swift out. But this is by Tricked Out You, and it's called X-Rated, and this is fingering weight. And this is what I'm going to do my knit night shawl out of. But it's all different colors, like navy, pink, white, all those pretty colors. I'd probably go with my confetti cake mitts pretty well. I think so. And it's the same company. Yeah. But my husband also got me a gift card to our local yarn store, and this is one of the yarns that I bought with that gift certificate. And he got me that for Christmas.
I didn't realize they carried that there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then I think that's all for right now. Oh, I do have to bring up these needles because this is part... I had a gift certificate, and I bought these needles from KnitPicks, and I accidentally I have an interchangeable needle set, and I wanted a second pair of 4s and 5s, and I bought the square ones. You're not going to be able to tell these are square, but they're square. And I didn't even know about square needles, honestly, until I got these, and I was like, why are these square? So I Googled, like, what's the deal with
these
square
needles?
Like, are they good? Are they bad? I don't know what I've gotten. And, you know, some people prefer them. They, you know, they say that it helps with finger and wrist pain if you've knitted a lot. They also, the yarn doesn't slide as easily, which I don't know is necessarily, it definitely wasn't a pro for me because I had to stop using them because I started using these for the Wonder Woman shawl.
Too much friction.
And I couldn't move the yarn on them. It was so hard. So I am going to try them with maybe not fingering weight and see if it makes a difference. But yeah, square needles. It's weird. I don't know. But I have a size 4 and a size 5 now. So hopefully I'll learn to work with them so I didn't, you know, waste $12. So, oh well. So yeah, that's all I've got right now.
So talking about KnitPicks needles, because that's what I use as well. Mm-hmm. So
well, that's why I got mine. Is she got hers, and I really liked her set, and so I got some too.
So let me see if I can find my stuff. Hold on, you guys. So I got these little shorties for Christmas, which I don't know if you can see through the, but they're like tiny.
I didn't even know they existed. They're so cute. Uh-huh.
But they are great for, right now I'm working on the sleeves on the Tealeaf sweater, and they're great for the sleeves so I don't have to sit there and use double pointed needles. I don't mind using double pointed needles, but gosh, if you can keep from having all those needles going everywhere.
A+, yeah.
A+, exactly. So these are adorable, and I got them for Christmas, and they're wonderful. So that is item number 1. Item number 2, you guys look at this adorable little cupcake progress keeper that's like steampunky. Oh, did you see that little gear ship there? Yeah!
It's so cute.
So Kitten got me this for Christmas, and I am absolutely in love with it. It is so cute.
I have a thing for, like, small little food.
She does have a thing for small food.
I don't know. It's just cute. And if it has a face on it, even better. I don't know. There's a progress keeper I want that's a taco that has a face on it. I don't know. It's cute. But I just like...
It's a taco.
It's a taco with a cute little, like, kawaii face on it.
Kawaii face.
It's so cute. But yeah, so I had to get, like, a cute little cupcake one.
Had to. And then she got me these adorable, and I don't know that I can get close enough.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big, and she is a big Sailor Moon fan. And these are adorable little stitch markers. That are like the little Sailor Scout figures. So there's the backside of it. So it's got like the butt and everything on them. They're so cute,
yeah, so
you
it's
guys.
like a whole set of the...
Whole set. And I just pulled out Sailor Jupiters, but there's a whole set of the Inner Scouts. And you said there was a whole set of the Outer Scouts.
She does sell the Outer Scouts too.
But I got the Inner Scouts. And then Kitten got me, like, you guys, kitty cat. Kitty cat scissors. Little tail. It's so cute.
So cute.
So cute.
I didn't realize how many cute scissors they make. Like, tiny, like, little embroideries, like, scissors. I did not realize there's so many different kinds and colors. They're so cute.
So, you guys, I have a goal. One in each of my little...
project bags?
Project bags. Thank you. I was about to say progress bags, and I knew that wasn't right. In each of my project bags, I want a little notions bag for each of them that have little scissors, so I want a collection going. So if you guys
has
see
so
something,
many.
Send it to me. Let me know.
Yeah.
Because they're adorable.
And we need more stuff to buy. We need more pouches.
We need these things.
Always.
So speaking of which, the No Purl sweater is currently housed in another Christmas gift. It is a Labyrinth pattern.
Cute.
Project bag.
I love it.
Check that out, you guys.
And I like how big it is. I need like a bigger project bag that can hold like a sweater or something. Yeah.
So this is by Slip Stitch Studios, plural. Slip Stitch Studios. Adorable. I love it, you guys.
And she has a couple other things.
I do. So another thing that I have from Slip
that
Stitch Studio. So this was not this is a newer acquisition. I don't know this. It
was a gift to herself.
It was a gift to myself, you guys.
You deserve
so
it
is Doctor Who. It is Daleks. It is a pattern keeper. So, and obviously I don't have this, but pattern, you know, there. Again, by Slip Stitch Studio. I just absolutely adore it.
That's really cute.
Which on that note, I wasn't planning on bringing it up this time, but since we talked about Daleks, you guys, Kitten got me this adorable little double-pointed needle holder. Again, Doctor Who Daleks.
Which already had this when she bought her pattern holder, and I was like, okay, we're doing a theme for your accessories.
But look at all this, you guys. Look at this. And I'm not going to pull it out, but I also, from my mother-in-law, got some double-pointed needles, a double-pointed needle set.
Oh, nice. From KnitPicks?
From KnitPicks as well. It's size 0 through size 3. That, you know, again, can't go wrong.
Yeah.
So that is wonderful. And then I swear this is the last thing that I'll go through today. Oh, no, it's not. Ha, I lied to you guys. And I'm only going through part of my acquisitions, you guys. But
yeah, we're not doing all of them.
No, we're not.
So we can have something to talk about next time.
Because I need to quit buying things. So I got this beautiful from WIP Yarns. Again, it was a Christmas gift. It is Out of This World colorway.
So pretty.
On their sock rock base. It is 75% superwash merino wool and 25% nylon. But it is gorgeous, like blue and like almost a golden yellow, black, purple.
Socks would be really pretty with that.
A little bit of green. Socks would be really pretty, but I've got 2 skeins of this.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you had 2. Yeah.
I've got 2 skeins of this. So you guys come up with a project for me because it's got 463 yards per skein. So I need to come up with a project for it. So help me out with this. I also got some dyeable yarn for Christmas, which again, yay, get to play with in the spring. So guess who gets to share it with me? Yay! And finally, last but not least, she is not aware of this, but I got Kitten a present.
What? You already... Oh my god!
So you guys, talk about kawaii little food faces. She sent me a picture of these, or she sent me a link to these on Etsy, and she was like, "Wouldn't this be adorable? They're like best friend
progress keepers.
Best friend project keepers. Here we go." So I will let you pick. Do you want peanut butter or jelly?
I'm gonna take the peanut butter.
Take the peanut butter?
Yeah.
Okay, I will take the jelly.
Oh my gosh, they're so cute.
They're so cute, you guys.
Oh my gosh. That is so cute.
Oh, I've got a story behind these. So.
And I was just telling her before we started recording, I was like, you know what? I need more progress keepers.
She was
I have
saying
like
that.
one. I mean, one cute one.
She was saying that.
But yeah, and she was, and so, yeah, no, I have one. Oh my gosh, thank you.
You're welcome, dear.
That's so cute.
So speaking of progress keepers, you guys, we have a giveaway. Judith Prize Artworks was nice enough to give us, look at this, a whole set of stitch markers and a couple of project keepers. And they are all like wine and cheese related. So like
cute.
Wine glasses and bottles
And grapes
and cheese. And you guys, you will learn this is so us. So us.
We do a thing called knit and sip.
We do a thing called knit and sip. It is totally our thing. So we get together on weekends. Our husbands also record a podcast. And we get together and we knit while they record. They don't do video casting, but they do podcasting, Red 6 to Golden Corral. And we get together and we knit some and we sip some.
Yep.
That's just the way we roll.
So it's very fitting.
Very fitting. So we've got these as a giveaway. The way you win this giveaway is you need to follow both myself, Gally Alvia, and Space Kitten 3000 on Instagram. On Instagram. And you need to comment. We will have a picture of these on both of our Instagrams. You need to comment on one of ours. It doesn't matter which.
Right. You don't need to do both.
Don't need to do both. You need to at somebody that you think will also be interested in our vlogcast or these stitch markers. And then we will do a random drawing.
Yes.
for our next vlogcast that we'll have our winners. So you'll need to tune into the next one, which we are hoping will be in 2 weeks. We're hoping to do this every 2 weeks. It will just kind of depend on our schedule and how we're feeling. But 2 weeks is our goal.
Yes.
So again, at Gallialvia, at Space Kitten 3000.
Tag somebody that
Tag
you
somebody
think will
that
be
you
interested.
think will love him.
Yep. And then they'll be yours.
Yep.
So.
Okay, you guys. I think that about wraps us up.
I think that's it. I think we covered everything we wanted to cover, and we thank you for joining us on our
inaugural
first, and
vlogcast.
we hope you enjoyed it, and we'll tune in again.
Absolutely. And if you guys have any comments, questions, or ideas
Suggestions,
for us,
anything,
please link them below or comment on them below. We are happy to look into them.
Exactly.
Thank you guys so much, and have a